So this story is going to be narrated by two people, me, Tobe, and my colleague, Jack Daniels.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, what is up, people? Welcome back to the Cross Contaminations channel. In today's video, we're talking about the first time rolling on MDMA. So this story starts on a fateful day where me, Jack Danielson, Gus, and Billy are planning on coming to my house to do a little bit of MDMA. So after school, me, Jack Danielson, and Billy pull up to my house. Now we're waiting on Gus to arrive because he had to first go home and do some special business, and then he was going to come. So we get a little bit impatient about an hour in, and we load up our doses. It was somewhere from 130 to 140 milligrams. And then we sent it down the hatch, alright? I was very smart. I took some special juice with it, and I didn't taste it at all. But my colleagues did not do that because they're stupid, and they thought it tasted really bad, but I didn't taste it.
So after about 45 minutes, I started to feel very anxious. I was kind of just sitting there in the bed, laying down with all the homies, and I was watching some Breaking Bad show or TikTok, and goddamn, I felt the weirdest I'd ever felt. And I was feeling really panicked. But anyways, 5 minutes after that, all of a sudden, I literally go from zero to fucking hero. Like, I went from sitting there, I was kind of just looking at things, and all of a sudden, my entire vision fucking looked crazy. It was like, I can't explain it to you, but it's like, it like looks different, but it's not. And everything was fucking crazily intense. And that's when, obviously, I knew it fully kicked in. And I just started rolling the fuck around. Fucking everything felt amazing. Anyways.
So I didn't quite get the effects as soon as my colleagues did. So I was sitting there and I was looking at them. They were starting to have a fun time, and I just felt anxious. I just had this like tightness in my chest, and I was like, dang, I'm not feeling it. And they were already sitting there in their glory. So I'm in a little bit anxious, and I'm starting to pace around a little bit, and then I started to feel a hug of like warmth go through my body, and then I just lay on the bed. And I lay on that bed quite some time, let me tell you.
Okay, so by now it was like 30 minutes in, and I completely forgot about my homie Gus. He was supposed to be there at the same time we were, but he was, running a bit late. But all of a sudden, I'm looking around. You got Tobe just sitting there wrapped in his blanket. You got Billy, he's like the nicest guy in the world. He's just like walking around being like, yo, how can I help you? Anyways, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Gus comes to the door. And I was so happy to see him because he had a vape. And let me tell you, when you hit a vape on the Molly, it is something that I can't describe. It's like you're just calming your brains out. It's just so good. Anyway, so he comes in, we get him situated, we get his dose ready. He had like 110, I think. And I don't really remember the next 30 minutes, but I do remember all of a sudden Billy's like, we gotta get some alcohol. So I text up the plug, they're ready for us to come over. And and right as this is about to happen, Gus starts feeling it. And let me tell you, he was actually, from what I remember, he wasn't really having like a great time at first, because as it came on, he was kind of like, everyone was being really loud because I was bumping to my music. Tobe was kind of just sitting there, but anyways, he was kind of like, everyone he's like, everyone come join in a united hug. I didn't take that down. And shortly after that, we got the green flag to go to the plug's house and get a bottle for tonight. So me and Billy, we pack up, say our goodbyes. Gus and Tobe were staying behind at this point, and our journey began. And by now, the Molly was starting to kind of fade a bit, but I was still happily prancing through the streets, walk all the way over there, had some crazy talks, and then we finally get to the plug's house. So I arrive, I walk in through the door, everything's mighty dandly. It was just sitting there on the shelf, gave him the money, and yeah, me and Billy took a shot, walked back to the place. We were actually at the plug's house for like an hour, but we were kind of just sitting there catching up. But anyways, we get back. Gus, since he took it like an hour later, he was still pretty much feeling it. He was in a good mood. He was doing his thing.
While Jack and Billy were gone, I was with Gus, right? And you know, Gus we usually just have our silly, funny jokes, but you know, Gus was entranced with the mood. He was talking to me about his past. He was open up to me, and I was like, that's some pretty good stuff right there. We cuddled. We cuddled a lot. And at that point, I wasn't really starting to feel it. I just realized that Jack and Billy had left. I was starting to calm down a lot, and I was very ready for the alcohol that was awaiting.
Anyway, so after me and Billy got back with the alcohol, we kind of just sat there and started to pour our drinks. Gus was not much of a drinker because last time we all drank with him, it was pretty crazy. That was on our other story, Drunk in the Woods. Anyways, so he just kind of stuck with his weed. But around this time, Gus, he started to sober up quite a bit. And let me tell you, this guy is a fucking pain in the ass when he's coming off the Molly. He wouldn't let us hit his vape. He was just in a very cranky mood. But that's just how it be. Less serotonin. And yeah, my boy Tobe, he started off strong. He always drinks cocktails, but he fucking loads that shit up like 4 or 5 shots. And before you know it, this man's down on the ground, throwing up. He's obliterated. Billy was just kind of sitting there, and he was about ready to fall asleep. And Gus, he was just kind of just sitting there staring at the wall the entire time. And I was holding on to the bottle and just kind of drinking it. And yeah, that was about how our night went. I don't quite remember how I fell asleep because I was just drinking shots. But yeah.